Hello, everyone. My name is Russell Lehmann. I'm a motivational speaker, poet, advocate, and thought leader with the platform of autism, mental health, and the overall human condition. September 13th is Positive Thinking Day, and the impact that positive thinking can have on one's well-being is immense. However, actually implementing positive thinking in our day-to-day lives can be very difficult. It's a lot easier said than done. What can positive thinking do for you? Well, positive thinking familiarizes your brain and your thought patterns with thinking about positive things. And in turn, when we think about positive things, we tend to feel positive emotions. It's usually a thought, a feeling, and then an action or non-action. So when we think, if we can start out with a positive thought, that tends to lead to a positive emotion. That tends to lead to an action that we conduct based on how we feel, which would be hopefully positive. So positive thinking turns into positive feeling, and it turns into positive acting and behaving. And that is contagious throughout the world. So it's not just about our own positive mindset. It's about our positive mindset becoming contagious to others through our actions stemming from how we feel about those positive thoughts that we are thinking. We can't just sit around and wait for happiness to come to us. Happiness is always available. Positivity is always available for us to use. But it really boils down to our perspective. I always talk about Epictetus, who was a Stoic philosopher about 2,000 years ago. And I like to call Epictetus the first ever self-advocate because he was born into slavery and ultimately became disabled. Epictetus ultimately gained freedom and became one of the world's renowned philosophers to live on for eternity. And he said that all situations in life are neutral. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just neutral. However, it depends on how we think about those situations and our opinions about those situations that make them either good or bad. It is amazing when you implement positive thinking and in turn you start kind of spreading that out into the world. It is really true that what you put out there in the world, what you emit, will come back to you in the form of a boomerang almost. What you put out there will eventually come back to you. And for me, overcoming a lot of, mental health diagnoses along with my autism and social isolation and all these circumstances that were very trying, the more and more I realized that I can still think positively about my life, even on a day where I'm suffering vehemently. I still feel that even though I might fall on my face some days, at least I'm still falling forward, right? There's that positive spin to it. So I don't get me wrong, positive thinking is great, but let's not just take positive thinking for thinking happy thoughts. We can take certain situations that have been very detrimental and traumatizing to us and put a positive spin on it. And that in itself is healing. So when we talk about positive thinking, it's not, thinking about rainbows and unicorns and confetti and all that good stuff, right? Obviously, those are types of positive thoughts, but what really enhances our personal growth and well-being is when we can have positive thoughts about unpleasant things or pleasant thoughts about unpleasant situations that we've encountered throughout life, right? Because we will always encounter trying times. But if we can always have that optimistic foundation in order to battle those trying times on top of, then again, we might fall on our face, but again, at least we're falling forward. Positive thinking builds resilience because if you think positively about an obstacle or adversity, uh, as if it's a test. And when you're given a test in life, just as in school, it tells you where you are in life and where you need to improve upon. If we can always look at obstacles and struggles in our life as, okay, this is going to be a test for me to find out more about ourselves. Positive thinking really can build resiliency. And positive thinking, self-affirmations, auto-suggestion, looking into the mirror and just being kind to yourself, looking into your own eyes and even saying, I love you. I do that. I love you, Russell. Russell, you had an amazing day. You really stepped out of your comfort zone and did a lot of stuff. And although it might have been uncomfortable, you did it. You did what you set out to do, Russell. If we can even just look in the mirror every morning and talk to ourselves in a positive manner, our brain recognizes that unconsciously. And it will implement that through neuroplasticity. It will become more familiar with these words and feelings and actions that have this ripple effect due to just a simple positive perspective we put on things. One great way that I cultivate positive thinking and in turn positive emotions and actions stemming from that is meditation, really visualizing very amazing moments that I've encountered in life, whether it be yesterday or 20 years ago or this very moment right now. Really meditating on that and visualizing that and how I felt during that very pleasant experience and how I can actually cultivate that within me in this given moment just from my memories. My memories of the past bring me happiness in the present just by visualizing the past. So if we can become more familiar through meditation and visualization and realize how our body feels when we think about pleasant experiences from the past, that all gets hardwired into our body and our mind. And it's just very unconscious. So you might not recognize it immediately, but if you keep it up consistently, it is amazing how that momentum from these your body adapting on a kind of instinctual level to these certain thought patterns of positivity. It is amazing to see how that momentum can really uh, expedite where you want to get to in life, because we all want to get to somewhere, and hopefully wherever we get to, whatever goals we do achieve, we're happy with them. And again, if we're ever going to be happy, the time is now. And one way to be happy is to really think about the perspectives you take upon life as a whole and in certain instances, and think, how can I flip this perspective on its head if I'm not already thinking positively about it, so I can in turn think more positively about this situation I'm going through and the ones I will surely encounter in the future. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.